Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's West Suburban Viking. Of course, we got Dave here with us, and we are Midgard Axe, and today we're getting into the cold steel Viking axe. Before we get into the video, I want to say I hope you guys really enjoyed your 4th of July. It's been a while. I think this is the longest stretch I've gone between two long-form content videos. We had 4th of July, and unfortunately, guys, we had a family member pass away. My grandmother passed away the night before 4th of July on Wednesday. We just did the funeral the other day, and you know, a little bit hard to take. It was kind of expected, but not this quick. I will give you guys a little bit of advice that you probably already know, but maybe you want to hear it again or need to hear it again. Don't ever take your loved ones and your friends for granted and think that you'll always have time. Oh, I can go see them next week. I can go see them. Not a big deal. Always make time for your loved ones and your friends. You just never know what can happen, and you don't ever want to be in a situation to where you wished you had spent time with them if something does happen. So I'm kind of in that boat right now. I did get to spend a little time with her in the hospital, but I wish I would have seen her in her element one last time. So take it from me. Get out there, call your family and friends, talk to them, spend time with them, because we never know how much time we actually got left. So we're going to get into the cold steel Viking axe here. As you guys can probably see behind me, I've got two already, and I've talked about how I've owned this axe previously, and I've got some shorts out of me throwing one of these axes, okay, actually two of them. Just to get into some information on this, what we're going to do, like I always do, guys, is in the first video I'll go over specs from the company's website. I go over the company's website with you, and we just kind of tackle what they have on their website about the axe. I give you guys my first impressions, and then in the second video we come back and we throw it, and I give you my overall impressions. Now I will tell you guys, because I own two of these already, I'm going to give you a little bit more information on my experience with the axe first, and then the second video I'll throw it and then give you some more information. So let's get into the website on this cold steel Viking axe here and go over what they got on their website. So when you head on over to coldsteel.com, you'll click on the Viking hand axe. That's what they call it, okay? You'll see a nice picture here, full length picture. Talks about the Viking hand axe, $59.99. I will tell you guys, I got it for a lot cheaper. It's usually like 30 some dollars on Amazon. Gives you a brief description. The historically inspired Viking hand axe is a design collaboration between Lindsey Thompson and custom bladesmith Dave Baker and Rich McDonald. The stout 30-inch American hickory handle, extra broad and sharp cutting edge, hooking beard, and upswept thrusting horn combine to make a formidable fighting axe that would be the pride of any Vikings collection. And then it talks about the sheath that you can buy, but it doesn't come with it. You have to buy it separately. As far as specs go, they have on their website that it's coming in at 17.6 ounces. The blade length is 6 inches. The blade steel is a 1055 carbon steel. It does come with a 30-inch hickory handle, and it does talk about how the sheath does come separately. You can purchase it separately, and it's a Viking style axe. And that's pretty much it, guys. It's quick, short, and to the point, which some of you wish that I would do in some of my videos. Too bad, you're gonna get the full length from me. Okay, so getting into the actual Viking hand axe from Cold Steel. As you guys know, I've got two of them already, and I will give you guys my impressions on them. But first, let's go over the specs on the axe that I have, real specs, and then we'll get into the overall impressions that I have of it. All right, guys, let's do specs. We'll start with the length first, and this one's coming in at exactly 30 inches, okay? The bit length, I got 6.25 inch bit, and the head length from the eye back here to the bit is 6.5 inches, okay? And I weighed this in on my scale, and it came in at exactly 2 pounds. So let's get into the actual axe. As you can see here, it's got a huge Taiwan stamp. It's made in Taiwan. The head itself has like a clear coat on it. You can try to sand it off, but I will tell you that if you use some type of like friction really fast, it tends to want to like gum up and melt. So what I did was on mine is, if you want to like darken the head with some blue, I took mine off and put it in a little bucket with a citrus strip, and it worked really well. Left it in there for a day, took it back out and kind of scrubbed it off, and then I was able to blue the head to get that dark look on it, okay? Now the actual axe head itself is pretty nice. It's fairly light. It does have very thin cheeks, and it does have somewhat of a thinner bit. I will say it's kind of weird though that the bit is a little bit fatter than the cheeks is, which is kind of strange. But all in all, it's something that I can file down. It's not a huge deal. Of course, guys, it says American Tomahawk Company, which if you look it up is cold steel, okay? The actual handle itself is a 30-inch American hickory handle, and we do have some grain run out on this thing. It does feel good in the hand, but I will tell you guys, if you're not a fan of teardrop handles, then you may want to think about this one, because it does come with a teardrop handle, which means that the back end is rounded, and as it goes to the front, it kind of goes like this. So it's here and then kind of rounds over in the back. I'm not a huge fan of teardrop handles. I never have been, and I don't think I ever will be. And I've told you guys in the past, and I'll go over it one more time for the new people. The reason why I don't like teardrop handles is because when you put this in your hand, you have to squeeze it harder to get full contact in your hand, meaning that if you put a moderate grip on it, you have space on either side of the teardrop that goes in. And if you want the whole handle in your hand and you want it to feel good, you have to grip it a little tighter than I like, which will cause accuracy issues. That's why I don't prefer teardrop handles on throwing axes. It's just not my thing. It may work for you, it just doesn't work for me. But just telling you guys the information that I see on this axe here. As far as the forging goes on it, it's really good. I don't have any kicks. There's nothing going on this thing. It's nice and straight. Even though the bit is a little off, it's going this way. It's kind of ground weird, but the actual forging itself is really good for a $30-some axe. It's nice, even. It's in line with the handle. We won't have any issues there. Now, I will tell you guys this, if you don't have any experience with this axe, which is one thing that everyone complains about, they put a set screw in the back. I don't know why they do this. I mean, I get the idea, why they think it works, but in my experience, it doesn't. What it is it's a threaded end right here, and there's a set screw that you use an Allen head wrench to tighten the set screw into the wood so it holds the handle on. Guys, in my experience, in my opinion, that just ends up breaking off into the actual axe head, or it ends up just taking the wood out and it comes loose anyway. So what I like doing is I take that screw out, and you can do one of two things. You can use an epoxy to fill the hole, or you can hit it with a MIG welder really quick. I've done both, and they seem to work really well. As far as the fitment of the head on the actual handle, I will tell you guys, this one's actually pretty nice, meaning that it is completely covered, and look how much we have left over at the top. I will tell you guys, those two back there, this one over here is at its end. It's not gonna, it's literally about to come off, and this one up here's got about this much left, because those didn't come sat very well. This one here is sat really good. I mean, it's on there. It's not going to come up anymore. So I do like this seating here, but as you guys can see, it's a tad bit off. As you see, the head is kind of sitting up like this. It's not straight out, but your bit is straight. So I'm okay with that. I can deal with that as long as the bit isn't kind of kicked up like this, like a Frankish axe. I'm good with it the way it sits. Now, when you get into the weight distribution on this axe, the way that it sits, it is handle heavy. So when you kind of give it a weight test, it's going to tip back. Not very fast, but it is present. I will tell you guys, just giving you some information, I have two already. This will be the third. I always cut my handles down. I think this is a little too long to be throwing with this small, light head. That's just my experience and my opinion. I normally like cutting this down to about 17 inches. As you can see, the two back here are at about 17 inches, and I think that's where it's good at for a throwing axe. If you wanted to do some type of different work where you wanted a longer handle, then keep it long. Or these things are really cheap. You could buy two of these and cut one at 17 and then leave one at 30, and you'd have kind of two axes you could do a couple different things with. I will tell you guys that what I normally use these axes for are beater axes. And my kids and my wife, they love throwing these things. So we're going to get into this one, and we're going to cut it at 17. I'm not going to throw it like this, guys. It just doesn't make sense to me. I know it flies better at 17 inches. I've got experience with it already. So in the next video, we're going to take it outside. I'm going to cut it down to 17 inches. And the cool thing about this video is I'm going to have three to throw. So come back and watch part 2, and I'm gonna take all 3 of these cold steel Viking axes out and make a video of throwing all 3 at the same time. I will tell you guys, from my experience, for 30 some dollars, they're not bad. They're really not. The edges hold on them pretty well. You can get them sharp. The only thing that I recommend is cutting the handle to 17 and then going in and filing these cheeks down. But I'm gonna show you guys in the second video what I do to mine and how I kind of customize it to make it fly better for me. So come back in for part 2 when we take all 3 of these out and throw them hard, throw them for distance, and show you how you can get crazy with them. But until next time, guys, see ya. I use citry strip. God, I can't say that. Citry strip